All right. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren. I'm your resident intuitive fatty. And I'm actually... So, I started to record this. It's my Starseed Oracle series where I pull 4 to 5 cards and then I read from the book and then I give you my insights based on the card or the insights that are relevant in my life and therefore in yours, because if you are watching me, I assume you resonate. You resonate with this frequency. But anyways, so I had actually started to record it, and when I started to talk about the first card, which is Trust the Timing. So these cards are pre-pulled now. I assume that I put the other video out first, so you can see me shuffle them in that video. But I started to talk about this, and then I just went. There was like, the message just was kind of, it's like the message took a turn, and then I was like, once I was done the message, I was like, well, it's been like 14 minutes. I'm not gonna start this series reading 14 minutes in. So yeah, they're pulled, but you can look at me pull at them in the other video. I'm likely wearing the same thing, and it's likely just before this, but who knows? Might switch it up. You never know. Make another video, and that's more important to us. Anyways, trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. So often, those who feel like they're here for a reason sense that time is running out, and they spend their life worrying they might miss their moment. But the only way to miss your life or your moment is to spend your time worrying about missing it. It's never too late to answer a calling, and you're never too old. The tides of your life are magnificently orchestrated to come in and out of perfect unison. Don't race ahead and ride a wave that was never meant for you. You'll waste your precious time and energy when instead you could be enjoying your life. Everything has a season, and you're being called to trust the one you're in. Don't let impatience, comparison, competition, or paranoia disturb the seeds. It seems that everyone has anxiety these days, constantly scanning for something they might have missed or a possible threat. Keeping our mind and our body pointed in the same direction as our soul is near impossible at such reactive speeds. Right now, you're being reminded to take a breath and trust in the wave you came in on. To trust the season you're in. Time isn't running out. There is plenty of time. There's no rush, and it is never too late. Okay, let me see if I can summarize it this time. So, over the past, my trust fall with divine timing has been an ongoing experience, and this week I had a couple. I've gone through some shifts because I learned how to cook, and so I healed a security wound I didn't even know I had. And it made me think earlier today in the car, I was thinking about how, if something isn't happening, it's not because it's not meant for you, but it's because, you might still have some work to do, but you shouldn't be seeking out the problem. So I made a video the other day, that was about how people aren't projects. So that includes people outside of yourself, but yourself as well, because a lot of us get stuck in always striving to be the next version of ourselves. And while yes, you need an aim and you need to know the direction you're going in, the focus shouldn't always be on what's next, because then you miss out on what's now. And a lot of us miss out on just remembering how beautiful it is to be us now, and the fact that we are the versions of ourselves that we are now allows us to have access to further versions of ourselves, at more evolutions of ourselves. And yeah, it's like, we don't forget that. Don't forget that shit. So oh, and to go off of, and to close that out, basically it's like, because you know where you want to go, because you know the direction you want to go, if you just love your life now and love who you are now and just be as much as possible, rather than living so far ahead in the future or in the past, whatever, the universe, and this is why it's a trust fall with the universe will do its job, and it will give you the situations and opportunities to change and to move towards this new version of yourself. Oh my God, this is happening again, where I'm like, I could probably talk about this for a really long time, and I'll do my best to keep it concise. But I hardcore started my reset journey about a year ago. Like, it was at the beginning of last year. I set the intention to be the most confident and the most and the highest version of myself, right? I decided that I needed to be a certain type of person to run a business, and therefore these were my goals: work on my confidence and become my highest self. And yeah, 2025, as for most people, was just a very unexpected, rough, huge, dramatic change in a lot of things. And it's because I set this big intention, and I'm realizing now, as it's kind of gone past a year, and we're moving, because now I'm thinking about the new year by the astrological new year or lunar new year, because it's like that's all mid-February, close to March. And it makes sense, because then that's where spring is kind of starting, and that's for another video. My conspiracy about the seasons, another video. But oh God, where was I going with that? Maybe you guys will find this cute one day, where you're just like, oh, she lost her train of thought again. Okay, let's retrace the steps. We're talking about timing. And yeah, oh, okay. Got it. But the transformation from who I was last year to right now, drastic change, right? To expect that I could go like, that change was really rapid. And this is me saying this after a year of having the intention, right? How can I expect to hold the manifestations of my, sorry, I keep saying highest self, but like, your highest self, there's no ceiling. So it's like, what is, anyways, a high, to the version of myself that I have in my mind, that is abundant and wealthy and thriving in business, to expect that I would just snap change that, like, in a few months, let's say, doesn't make any sense. It actually doesn't make any sense. So it's like now I'm looking back and yeah, there's just been so many upgrades. It's like I feel like everything everything makes sense in timing. But it's like in the moment, because you know where you want to go, it's like you feel restless and we're taught to be impatient, I think, to fuck up our our intuitive clocks. But yeah, bro, it's just like trusting divine timing and understanding that delays aren't delays. They only feel like delays because you've labeled it as a delay. At the end of the day, it takes time for the bridge of events to form, and the point of manifestation is it's co-creation, and you can't control everything, and the timing is one of those things. And like sometimes the patience is the test. But yeah, it like the faster you trust it, the faster you trust yourself, the um the faster your manifestation comes in. All right, before I get stuck just talking about it, let's gonna move on to the next card. The Cosmic Heart, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. See, I was talking so much, I didn't even talk about the actual card for the last one. And it is a pretty beautiful card. We'll see if I go back. But this is really nice. So, yeah, we got this girl here. She seems to have her hand over... I don't know if that's her heart. Honestly, it looks like her arm is raised, and it kind of looks like she's touching her armpit, but... but there's like a nice little cosmic circle around her of smoke, and then there's like stars and the little beams of light, and then you got like the light force here in her heart, and that this is all made of stars. All right, let's see what this one's about. Cosmic Heart. When you surrender to a state of devotion, you find yourself flowing with all of life. You're being called to refocus your attention deep within, to the intelligence of your own heart, to bow with deep reverence to your inner temple, to live your life in devotion to this place, to make your life one big moving prayer. Perhaps you felt a bit off kilter lately, sensing that the potency of why you're doing things has gotten a little watered down or weak. Perhaps you've forgotten what made you start doing them in the first place. If so, this is your call to take a moment and reconnect with the truth at the very center of your heart, to get back to the essence of what you're about, to devote your life to what you care most about, to turn your gaze deep, 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 deep. There are seasons for harvesting and seasons for sowing. Right now, you're being called to plant your soul seed and sing to them with deep devotion, to feed them with the sweet waters of your own soul, to lose yourself in the potency of what is that most expands your heart, to live your life according to what makes you come alive rather than what everyone else thinks, to make your life one big moving prayer. Beautiful. And it's... Sorry. I kind of wanted to... I'll put some lipsticks on. It's cold out here in Canada. Drink some water too. But yeah, it beautifully ties in to what this was about. I also did a meditation just before doing this. I think that's something that I'm gonna continue to implement. But in meditation, and just like the last few days, I feel like the last few days have been, I'm gonna say heavy, but not really that heavy. It's just like over the weekend I had my period, and I just felt so sluggish and tired, and I let myself rest two of the like on the over the weekend, but then when Monday came around and I was still kind of feeling tired, I I started to get in my head a little bit about whether I was doing enough, because I have so many things that I want to do, and it goes back to the timing card, is that like I think I'd overwhelm myself. I'd be caught in two extremes. I'd overwhelm myself by feeling like I had to do everything now, but then I would also procrastinate a lot because I just wouldn't make deadlines for myself. And this is something that I picked up on not too long ago, because I was looking into the root causes of why people procrastinate. Because like I see childhood trauma that is kind of the root of everything for most things. It's like, yeah, it's usually a deeper wound. And with procrastination, it's more than just feeling like a lack of motivation. For some people procrastinate, and this applies to myself. When I was younger and I would do well in something, or if I was doing something I liked to do, specifically from my mom, I didn't get support, right? Or my sometimes she does this thing where it's like, oh, this is good for you, but don't do that type of shit. Like this set off one of our like bigger disagreements in the fall. But I had done an event where I made $700 in one day, and I was really happy about it, and and my mom was like, "Oh, that's very good, but don't quit your job." And it was like, why can't it just stop at good job? And so it's like procrastination becomes a defense mechanism, actually, because psychologically you associate the things you love to do or you're passionate about or just being successful in general with being shunned, or just like it not being as big of a deal. So it's like in your mind you kind of stop yourself from doing it, or you delay yourself from doing things because you just don't want to be disappointed. And it makes so much sense for me. I keep commenting it on other people's YouTube videos because other people have been talking about procrastination too, and I'm like, yo, listen to this psychology, this psychological, yeah. But in the meditation, right, like just before, I was thinking about how, yeah, there are a lot of things I want to do, and this isn't like new to me. I always knew I had to prioritize, but now it's like I was actually able to really hear myself say it, or hear my intuition say it, rather than just saying it consciously. And I feel like that makes a difference. Like I feel like the subconscious, like intuition is the language of the subconscious, or something like that. Something like, yeah. Something like that. So it's like when we try to filter things in through our conscious mind, it just doesn't, it takes longer to land. anyways, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on because I could talk a lot. I like this series. Maybe, see, I would do less cards. I would do like maybe 3 cards at a time. But I think it's just like I didn't want the series to be too long. Because even doing 4 or 5 cards per thing, that's still going to be at least 10 episodes of the series. Anyways, the next one is The Golden Children. Inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. Oh, this is a really pretty card. It looks like they look like they're on the moon. I'm not sure if this is the sun or if that's Venus. We got this portal looking thing here. Then you got the little children's over here. I like over here. It's just like an iridescent kind of shine over the land, it looks like. But yeah, all the children are glowing a little bit, or they have stars glowing around them. Okay. Golden children, in brackets, children of the sun, are highly advanced, extremely intelligent souls who are incarnating increasingly on planet Earth. They have little or no personal karma and possess incredible gifts and intuitive abilities. Golden children are born with a very clear mission. Many remember it from a young age and begin answering and sharing it early in life. Due to their unique intelligence, they might find themselves easily bored at school. Most had never incarnated on Earth before, and so if they're not supported in the right ways, they struggle with physical life here. They're often referred to as the new humans. If you pull this card, it may be a sign that you're being called to mother, father, or nurture a child. You may be called to tend to your own inner child, a creative idea or project, or a new beginning. To treat yourself or the new beginning with sweet, tender love, to nurture and nourish it, to give it every chance to grow and reach adulthood, to encourage it, to water it, to see the world through the innocence of a child, to see yourself and all others as innocent children, to remember that deep down everyone is trying their best, and if they're treated with a tender heart, they'll not harden as they journey through this great adventure called life. So yeah, that coincides with the Cosmic Heart as well, because it talks about tending to an idea or a creative project, and I think I'm being very called right now to really focus on 2 things specifically for myself, or well, I'm doing this too. So there's like a few things that I am supposed to focus my attention on now, and going in order of priority now, rather than just kind of, I feel like, yeah, I've just been doing a lot because I've been trying to learn at the same time. I've been trying to do like a couple or online courses at the same time. I've still got a daughter. She's turning 2 in like 3 days. Who approved that? And yeah, it's like I'm trying to keep up with, not keep up. I don't have a posting schedule. Even this too, like even on you, like posting these videos, I don't have a set format or an upload schedule. I get messages pretty frequently, so I feel like I'm pretty consistent. But yeah, I've watched a couple videos where they talk about the ways that you can strategize to to grow your YouTube, or to, you know, to test things. And it's just like, that's another thing that it's like, yeah, I want to do that because I do want to get better, but it's like for the time being, based on the priorities, the way that I'm doing it is fine. And it'll stay this way until further notice, and that's okay. That's okay. Because I'm not trying to rush the timing. I will grow when I am supposed to grow. All right, next. I'm sorry. Defenselessness, righting past wrongs, uprooting. So here you see we got the roots down here. We have a little mirroring effect here. Little spirit action in the middle, separating. And like the roots of the tree, it's like, so these are roots of a tree, and what's in the middle, it's like, it's solid underground, but when it comes up to earth, then it's like it's more of a spirity effect. But yeah, they're mirroring, so maybe it's a mutual forgiveness thing. Let's see. I don't know if it was going to start with the I or... Okay. We're living in diverse... We're living in divisive times. When we're hurt and triggered, we tend to see things as a personal attack rather than an opportunity for healing. If we're to find true peace and unity, we need to drop our defenses and see things outside of right and wrong. As souls, we intrinsically remember unity and yearn for it here on earth. Perhaps this is why it feels so painful when we experience the opposite. But it's crucial to remember that we can't simply bypass reality and pretend that unity, love, and forgiveness are here. This is one of the greatest challenges for starseeds. To bring about unity, we must first acknowledge the ways in which both we and the world have been divisive, personally, ancestrally, and collectively. The shadows, hate, wounds, separation, severings, wrongs, and sadness. You may be called to explore how you or your ancestors or your society have consciously or unconsciously inflicted pain on others, to find a way to drop the armor around your heart and see things as they truly are for all people, to say I'm sorry with an open heart and mean it, to be the part of the healing rather than the perpetuation of inherited conflict or oppression. This isn't about blame, it's about unwinding the pattern that got us here. You may be called to devote your time to causes you believe in or do healing work on your ancestral line. So, I mean, if you're watching me, I would assume that you resonate with being the generational curse breaker for your bloodline. I definitely feel that. I know that the women in my bloodline did not have it easy. And just because of the times, a lot of them didn't get to experience, I want to say, true happiness. Like, I think a lot of, I think they've all bore a weight of kind of a tragic ending, in the sense that I don't think that a lot of the women in my bloodline were appreciated or just set with the right foundations. And, you know, I look at my mom as well. It's always tough with my parents because I know that the life they had wasn't easy, and I understand why they are the way they are. Meaning, I know, like, obviously, obviously, if you're watching me, you probably watch me because I like the psychology background adds a layer in addition to the spirituality, because it's like it's just all connected, right? Like the way that our minds work, and just like how that coincides with our spirit, it all makes sense. But like the issue is or the hard thing about being the generational curse breaker is, even though you know that, even though you know what they've probably endured and gone through and what made them the way that they are, at the end of the day, to break the curse is to stop tolerating it. And it hurts when you feel like you have to put distance between you and them because they can't see where you're coming from, or they can't believe with you or be supportive. But at the end of the day, it is all out of love, and it's to protect the generations that come after us. Like, I'm so excited to watch my daughter grow up, because I know that I'm going to be raising her very differently from how most kids have been raised up until this point. And I hope that there's a lot more other people like me who are raising children in divinity, and to never forget their divinity, rather than to oppress it and to oppress themselves, and to have to go through all these lessons that will lead them to course correct. And it's like life is going to bring them certain lessons anyways, and that's what I think is so interesting to see, I guess, how much farther she can go if she not bypasses the generational trauma, but just like isn't subject to more of it than necessary. And for her to just grow up living life. Let's see, how else does this apply? Yeah, this is very in line with my thinking already. Why was I talking? Oh, I did a video earlier today that was more like a rant, but it was basically about like the system, and how at the end of the day, like, people tell us stories, and you can't really. It was a basic. The sentiment was, take everything with a grain of salt. Like, just be discerning. And I think I got into talking at some point about how everybody just, like, nobody's perfect. And it was kind of about not holding people just to one version or one side of them, one opinion of theirs, when there might be a bunch of other things that they know or say that could be profound. Or it's like, if somebody had the cure to cancer, but they said something racist 15 years ago, are you going to be like, no, we don't want your cure for cancer? It's just like, it doesn't, that's the type of stuff that I'm like, oh, don't make sense. Maybe racism is not a good example. Maybe it's like, I don't know, if they support, like, trying to think of something that's controversial. Whatever, let's go with easy, political parties. Like, just because they're on a different political party than you, it's like, or they're on the wrong side, it's like, okay, but what if the other things that they know and think about are great? It's like, why? Like, you should be able to just disagree, or just be like, yeah, just to disagree and then leave it at that. But also, let's see. Oh, I was talking to someone today about how kind of recognizing that I'm triggering. I would assume that that also resonates with you, where you probably trigger other people just by being just by being yourself, just by being true to yourself. And the thing about this card where it's talking about like going inward and seeing where have you hurt people, because everyone's hurt people, whether we meant to or not, and that's just part of the game of life, is that sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. And when it comes to yourself, it's like you gotta fight for you gotta fight for the version of yourself that you want to be. And sometimes you end up hurting people along the way. It's like, I think about my ex, for example, because yeah, it's like you can't predict that you're creating a life for yourself that is wrong for yourself based off of subconscious insecurities or whatever, trying to rush your timeline. It's like you don't predict that in the moment. And it's like, it doesn't mean that things weren't real. It's just that I stopped not living for myself. Yeah. I was like, was that a correct sentence? And it's just like, yeah, sometimes choosing yourself means you have to disappoint other people. And it's like, basically what this card is about, just taking accountability for whatever your part is. Because this is something that I learned really early on in doing shadow work and just on my self journey, is that no matter what the situation was, no matter, like, you always play a part. Even if you're the victim, you play a part. There is something that you have allowed to allow whatever to happen. And please don't take this like literally, because, or don't make this a blanket statement, because obviously there's extreme certain things that are out of your control. But for the most part, it's like you call things into your reality based on your energy. Or so, I mean, like in a bad relationship, right? It's like you've called that in because it fits a current belief, like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy thing. It's a reflection of how you feel about yourself. Or no, that's pretty much it. Or well, I guess for that example, I don't have to go that much more into detail about this. Anyways, one more card. We're at 40 minutes. Actually, that's not as bad. The last one was 55, I think. So I think I can keep this under. Your life is a canvas. Artist, manifestation, creative, accountability. This is very pretty. She's on a mountain. And it's like, you know what? I don't think the camera does as much justice as it is seeing the card in person. But it's like, the way that the sky looks is, it kind of looks like crystals. I like the colors. Let's see, we got some green, we got pink, and then this like yellowishy color. So a lot of heart, and then a little sprinkle of solar plexus. There's some flowers on the mountains as well. But yeah, like this does look like art. I really love this deck. It's probably one of the last ones. Oh, here. You're the artist of your life, and your life is a canvas. Take responsibility for your ability to create. Earth is known as a planet of manifestation. Your present moment is based on your past thoughts and beliefs. Your current thoughts determine your future. What kind of life do you want to create for the future? What are you being called to create? Reconnect with your manifesting power and align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the vibrations that match them. It's never too late to start, and no experience is required. All you need is an open heart and mind and consistent daily action. If you're not sure what you'd like to create, start instead with a feeling of deep gratitude for all that's good in your life right now. State out loud what you're most thankful for. Look for the good in your life, and one thing will be certain. You'll find yourself attracting more and more good experiences into your world. This card is inviting you to see your life as a canvas, and the picture is completely up to you. Color it with your thoughts and feelings. Create the life that you most long to live. You may also be called to more creative you may also be called to be more creative in your everyday life. What have you been called to create? How can you express yourself more creatively? Okay, so when I left the car today, I was thinking about how one of the things that I did in my like earlier last year was like practicing gratitude. I had a gratitude journal. So I think it would be like 3 things that I'm grateful for in the morning, and then like 3 things that happened throughout the day, and then I don't know, I can't remember if there was more than that. There was like a couple things. I recently started to write out 369 affirmations again. I wanted to make a video on this too. I don't know. I can't remember if I recorded it or not. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I recorded yesterday. But I use things like 369 affirmations. Like, that's a specific tool or method that I use for rewiring specific beliefs. It's because I guess the more that you get into spirituality, metaphysics, manifestation stuff, you start to realize that some of the like there are things that you do that are beginner level, and then there's like advanced manifestation. And like when you get into like advanced manifestation, you realize that some of the things that you used to do, which are, like affirmations and stuff, actually end up becoming counterintuitive, because they end up reinforcing that you need, or like it's something about feeling like you're relying now on those practices to get your manifestation. So it's like, oh, you miss a part of the day to do the affirmation. It's like now you feel like you get this inherent feeling that you've missed part of the routine, and now it kind of like hinders your self-confidence type of thing. Anyways, that being said, it's just like you don't need to do all of those things. You don't there's like, you can be very selective on how you bring your manifestations in, but gratitude, or coming from a space of gratitude, is one of the most important things about manifestation. And I guess for myself, when I was using the gratitude journal, and I think there's been different points in my life where I think there was a point where I had certain gratitudes written on a post-it in the mirror, and I used to try to say them to myself. And even when I had stopped doing the gratitude journal last year, I think I was still saying I was still like speaking gratitude out loud. I don't know when I kind of fell off of that. probably by like within the fall winter, just because I think I've been more focused and more action oriented, more in my masculine a little bit. So yeah. Anyways, all that to say, it just kind of, that last card just kind of goes with the whole theme. I mean, as these cards do, but it's like this week is really about me really grounding myself in this version of myself that I've shifted into. And so it's like, I know what to do. I know I'm supposed to trust the timing. I understand that. Oh, sorry. Like, let me go over the cards again. I understand. Like, I have complete trust for the timing. I know the things that I'm meant to do right now. I know the things that are closer into bringing into fruition, and I know what order to go in. I'm aware of how to do this in such a way where I don't burn myself out. And yeah, it's like I'm gonna nurture this project baby. Gonna keep myself humble and make sure to what was that? What? Say sorry to them hoes that try to get in my way. That's what I heard. What? Okay. That's funny. But yeah, ultimately my life is a canvas, and yeah, it is really funny that, like, thinking about my car ride home and just like the way that my intuition's been talking to me to this evening. It just I love these cards. I love oracle cards. I love pulling cards. And I can't wait to get much better at it and much more intuitive. But yeah, I hope this resonated. Your life is a canvas. You are the greatest artist. You are the greatest artist that you could ever know, because you made your life and you will continue to make your life. Keep going, yo. Trust that timing. It is closer than you think. Do not let yourself veer off of the bridge of incidents before it forms. Yeah, all right. Well, thank you so much for listening to me. I probably already said that I hope this resonated, but I hope this resonated. And until next time, goodbye.